Alright, here we go. We're live. Looks like we're live and we're not dropping any frames tonight. Alright. Let's see. Tonight we are doing some 3D modeling. And we're disappearing our screen. Tonight we're doing some 3D modeling. It says Blendshapes. We'll do some Blendshapes. Want to do a little bit more work with my mouth because you can't actually see it move. Technically, I'm talking right now. I wanted it to be subtle, but this is a little too subtle. Yeah. Trying to make that a little bit more expressive, seeing as I got the fancy NVIDIA mocap tracking through my webcam. Might as well put some of that to use. So far, I've only put it to use for wiggling my eyebrows up here. And that needs a little work too. It's a little too subtle. So I need to play with the settings and max that out. Oh, hello. Welcome, welcome. I'll be working on the model tonight. Maybe depending on how far I get on the mouth blend shapes. Gonna work on the hands. They're a little too low poly right now. I won't make them quite this detailed, but halfway there. We'll go halfway there. I'll still keep it kind of low poly-ish to keep with the theme, but a little more cool, articulated. Because hey, if it's good enough tracking like this, if I can make it anything close to well, this example's from Pat Labor here. If I can make it anything close to this, that'd be pretty fun. So, if you're first time here, hi, I'm Rusty, and I am part-time virtual avatar here, and the other part of the time I have my actual robot controlled by the same software. Let's see, pull up a picture. Here he is, and I'm floating. All right, here he is, and he is currently a little under construction at the moment, or reconstruction. I'm working on his off stream, anyways. I'm working on his neck, which was super creaky, but I think I got that narrowed down. I'm working on his neck and working on a better pipeline for moving the motion capture data that's, making my head move all over the place. To translate that into him moving around. So if you look real close here, you can see the lens side. This is my right. If you look, see it's swinging around and moving around as it tracks my eyes. When I blink, it opens and closes the aperture. Does the same thing with him. So I'm mimicking the movements on both the actual physical robot model and this one. It's a fun project. Just do a little bit here and there, and it's a lot of fun. But tonight we're working on virtual Rusty. Actual Rusty, I like to work on off stream because if something goes wrong, I gotta jump out of my chair and pull some plugs because I've got a whole bunch of circuitry and stuff in there. Maybe sometime down the road I'll take y'all behind the scenes and show you what's going on inside that noggin. But for now, tonight we're doing this. Don't have a whole lot of time, maybe an hour or so, but tonight we're going to be hiding away here, and I think we're in the right category. Are we in art? Okay. Last time I was in Makers and Crafting because I was doing some fusion modeling on parts for actual Rusty. Some neck control parts. So not just for the vertical, the up-down, but also for turning side to side. And those were a lot of fun to make. As long as Autodesk doesn't find me and, get mad at me for using Fusion. Well, actually, it's not commercially. It's hard to tell these days because they've changed their license so many times over the years. It's kind of annoying. Okay, let's see. We are going to pull up a different reference here. There we go. All right. So if you have any questions, just feel free to drop in the chat there. See what I can do here. Okay. Down the road, I do want to do a series, a 3D modeling series, 3D modeling and animation. Whether it's hooked up to tracking or not is added bonus. I want to go through anime and sci-fi scenes of just the coolness, the cool mechanical animations and such. Like this part here from Pat Labor 2, where they're doing a little calibration on one of the big mecha suits. And it's let's see if I got the next shot here. There. So here's the pilot doing the calibration on their gloves and moving the robot hand at the same time, the mecha hand at the same time. And it is just a cool scene. Let's see if I can actually bring it up in. Because good old Windows Picture Viewer does not play nice with animated shots. Where are we? There we go. This one doesn't spin the hand around. They also spin the hand around, wiggle the fingers. Yeah, that's one of the goals here. The other goal for tonight is work on my blend shapes, because I like how subtle it is. Subtle some of the movements are. Sometimes, especially at this distance here, it's a little too subtle. So I think I might actually work on just the mouth blend shape first. And get those out of the way, and then work on the robot hands if I get there. If I get there. If not, you'll have to come back next time. So I currently have this guy hiding somewhere else. Blend shapes are all hiding blends. Aptly named. Here we go. Okay, so my current one is mouth. Just mouth, apparently. Okay, where are we hiding mouth? We're hiding mouth down by my feet. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, well, how do we have it set up right now? I actually have it set up so that if you look right here, like I said, way too subtle. This is me opening my mouth and talking. So when my mouth is closed, as in I'm not talking, I have it open. This is to mimic the disk drive. Let's pull Rusty up over here again. So if you look over here, it's to mimic this disk drive. That's right there. But that is, it's a little too, I don't know if I can even go less subtle. Unless I were to completely close it. For instance, well, let's bring up the shape itself. Where are we going? Where are we going? The window behind me here, and let's have Rusty's head. Mouth. And we'll also bring up the blend shapes themselves. Editors, editors, editors. Blend shape, there you are. Yep, so that is that is the movement. No wonder you can't see it, huh? Talkie, talkie, talkie. And reversed talkie at that. I might have to rethink the whole mouth if I want it to be, if I want it to be any kind of, sadly, any kind of more expressive. Oh, is my blend shape actually stuck? Are we locked? Why can I not go back in and modify? There. See, now this would definitely be more visible. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make two separate blend shapes because they this little bunch of polygons here, this little rectangle doesn't take up a whole lot of space. So what we are going to do is we're just going to make another one. Mouth 2. We'll call this mouth thin. That way, if I don't like it, it's a funny looking word. That way, if I don't like it, I can not re-export everything and start over, more or less. So we've got mouth 1. Going to hide that for the moment. Go with mouth 2. And also this way I'll be able to go between the two blend shapes when I'm setting this up to export it in Unity. Assigning all the blend shapes manually. So I don't have a ton of blend shapes right now. Some of them aren't actually set up for traditional humanoid facial expressions. I have some like, oops, well, there's blend shape right there. I have a blend shape set up for like this, angry. So this is a combination of tilting the eyebrows, which is the scanner, the printer tray, and making the aperture eye dilate. And I have another blend shape set up for colors. Now, are these blend shapes in Maya? Some of them. The colors, no, that's a Unity thing. That's all done by swapping textures and colors, material colors. These are set up in Maya here, controlling the shapes, the blend shapes here In fact, they're part of the head trays, which I also have set up as eyebrows. Hence, I can do that for the angry face. And then the aperture widening is its own, let's see, lens wide. It's its own blend shape. It'll morph, if you want to call it that. So this one, we're gonna see if it works better for talkie-talkie. Just gonna make it pretty thin, and then apply it to the mouth. Let's see, how do we do this without disturbing the other parts of the blend shape? That work? Nope, that simply made a mouth 1. It works, but let's see. Select. Nope. Selected that. Select that. No, it didn't like that either. Add new target, maybe it's add new target. There we go. That's how you do that. Okay. As the name I have chosen for myself is pretty spot on. I am rusty at this. I am out of practice. So let's see. That doesn't seem to be working. This one works. This one does not. Fitting blend shape. Got the blend shape. Add new target, add base as target. I think we didn't apply it to the right one. So I might do this the annoying way and just make a whole other set of them. Okay, so we have mouth 1. Show. Skin deform. Ta-da! Okay, thin mouth. Not so thin mouth. Both of them. Ew, that's interesting. I just inverted it. So if I'm going to be using this, I'll need to just use one or the other. Or halfway. Maybe I can make them halfway. Okay, so that's good. Now another one I know I do, and I'll need to look up the fancy blend shape names. But moving your mouth from side to side. So, I'm gonna work on this right now. But you know, if you've got your mouth here, and you kind of like, you know, this is completely useless to show you when it's not even here. But moving the mouth from side to side, you know, kind of puckering one cheek, move your mouth from side to side. Can't do that right now, but I could. And that would be adding just yet another shape. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Mouth 2. Add you to the blends. I'm gonna have to make a whole new category just for mouths. Mouth. Right, you guys. Could just move them around, but lazy. Okay, so here's a thought I had before stream. I've got this glowing right now. Let's see, hand tracking. So you can see, it's called an emissive material, so it kind of like gives off light, emits light. So what I was going to do is still leave the shape of the disk drive mouth, and move the emissive part to the Blendshapes. So they both exist at the same time. Mouth, duplicate mouth, call any for not emissive. I'm never going to remember that, but that's okay. So this one, we are going to give different material. Material. Bring up the hypershade. What I got for my basic Lambert here? Select objects. Nothing. How about you? Also nothing. Color's a little dull. I kind of wanted to get away from these colors, using this material anyways, seeing as it's just solid colors. I wanted to get away with using less texture files, so I'm using the same texture file for the suit, the business suit here, also on the robot head. But the robot head is only going to have like 3 different shades of gray, maybe 4. So I don't really need to link into this whole texture file, which is used across many different characters. So really, I could just make them all, 1 or 2 textures, or 1 or 2 of their own material. Is that sloppy? Is that appropriate for a game character? Bringing this into the game engines. It works fine. Seems to work just fine. I'm sure it adds some processing load here and there to have all the different textures. But this is just a flat color texture. So I'm going to bring this in here. Mouth NE. Bam. Now we're not seeing him yet because he is the same size as that one. They occupy the same space. So I'm actually going to set mouth NE back just a little bit. And it's not letting me move them. Probably because by duplicating something bound to the skeleton, already weight painted and everything, it's going to get mad at me for that. So we'll just do this kind of the sloppy way. Bring it back just a little bit. Yeah, that should be good. So it's going to be more or less a placeholder. Or not placeholder, a catch-all? The mouth shape. So when I am talking, let me just show you. Let me just show you. That would make way more sense. Let me just show me to see if it actually works. Yes. Okay. So there'll still be a shape there. It just won't be lit up. Because this slider here is an animation slider. Will control the glowy part here. And that's the same whether I use this one, which I currently have enabled. See that a slight subtle movement. I want to go more overboard. And now, what I plan on doing this mouth 2 here, we were going to call this, let's see, it's called mouth right. Better yet, mouther. And mouthul. Okay, mouther and mouthul. And then we're just going to move some of these vertices around. I don't know exactly how far we want to go yet, but for now, let's just move them right to the edge of... Oh, you can't really see this. Let's just move them right to the edge of here. Maybe just a little bit on the side. About 1 square's worth. Make it kind of square, so it's easier to mimic on the other side. Is that R? Nope. I don't know my left from right. That is right, but it is not the right. There's a very simple fix for that. We will just rename them. That looks roughly square. Oops, and that did both of them. I chuckle to myself every now and then about how easy it is to do this on a on any low poly robotic model compared to doing this on an organic model, like an anime character. Where you definitely have to pay a lot more attention and fine tuning to the nice smooth mesh of the face. So I'm like I feel like I'm double cheating sometimes. Down the road I am going to make a probably more, I'm not sure if I want to make a more anime style or western cartoony style character for the avatar, but I want a whole collection, a whole factory full of Rusties. And just because variety, just a whole factory full of us. Whether it's a humanoid-looking android, or I've got a big ugly mecha version of Rusty that I'm working on. Worked on them in a couple of streams, and we're just gonna bring all these different Rusties together, and a whole stockpile, a whole warehouse full of them. Not to take over the world or anything, but just for fun. Yes, just for fun. Okay, so we've got our mouth left and mouth right. which are actually incorrectly named. So we're going to fix that here, because somebody doesn't know his left from his right. Somebody also forgets how to spell sometimes. Okay, so because I want all of these on the same slider, I know there's an easy way to do this, but I keep forgetting. So what we're going to do is just go back over here, delete the mouth, select this mouth, or select all the blend shapes. Can't see my head. So I deleted the blend shapes that I had previously made. So basically you take any shapes that you want to apply towards the main model. That's what a blend shape is. You're blending between different shapes, as it says. So the different states, instead of being, oh, here's open, and then there's closed. Instead, you blend between them. So you use the sliders then. So it's not just frame 1, frame 2. It's, all this, near infinite variation in between frame 1 and frame 2. Using animation frames as an example. It's not quite how it works, but close enough. Let's do that from here. Create blend shape. There we go. Okay, so now, look at that. That is exactly what I wanted, except a slight change in the non-emissive. I'm going to make that slightly smaller. Where are we? Ever so slightly smaller. Okay, that looks good on those. It's a little excessive right there, so I'm going to move that over just a little bit. See, it needs to be just hiding behind the other shape. The other polygons. There, now you can't see it, and now it won't clip funny. The edges were clipping a little funny before. There. Ooh, now you can see what's in my head. Nothing. Just nothing in there. Just empty. Head empty. Although, if you really want to see what's inside Rusty's head, right, that group. This one's slightly out of date, but here is some of what's inside Rusty's head. Ta-da! Looking in Rusty's head here. We've got, let's see. We've got the lens. This is a placeholder for the lens. The actual pieces are, there's a gyro set up, and that's how it gets the movement. There's some servos sitting back here that control, that push the gyro in two different directions for the left to right, up and down. The servo right here, not shown because I didn't need it for this import. There's a servo that sits right here. You can see the mounting holes. That controls the up-down. And not shown, back here sits another servo that pulls it side to side. And it's gone through a few iterations. Used to have a much smaller servo sitting right on on the gyro, and that poor little thing could not handle the jerkiness of moving back and forth. So it's sitting in the bad servo box. If I didn't already steal the connector cables and such off of it and toss it. But yes, here's what's inside Rusty's head. At one point anyways. Now let's go hide this. Can't let you behind the curtain too much. You'll know all my secrets. Okay. So, here we got the big head. Now, I can't show you directly with the tracking like right now, because I have to export this, with all the pieces, parts, the textures, the blend shapes, basically. You take everything here, you export it as a certain file format, bring it into Unity, the game engine, and there's import-export tools for VTubers. For technically they're for VR chat also, but it's been adapted for use by VTubers because of all the lovely tracking and the standardized format. So take that FBX file that's exported here from, in my case, Maya. You can use Blender, other programs, I'm sure. You take that file, you bring it in, you make sure all your textures are set up. You might need to edit some, like I had to, just set a basic emissive setting to get this lovely glowing effect here. You take that, and then you attach all the blend shapes. You assign them. So all these sliders here need to do something. Unity software needs to know what to do with them, because they're just sitting there right now. So for instance, here is my lens blink. See? The lens blink in Unity, I hooked that up to just the avatar blink, specifically my right eye. I actually don't have a blink set up in my left eye yet. And then eventually, when export it from Unity into the right file format for the tracking software, I use VC Face currently. Might switch that up in the near future. Then VC Face will know that when my motion capture data it's reading, when it sees me blink, it applies this blend shape. It's a wonderful whole process. Motion capture. So, not quite a tangent. Kind of a tangent, but not quite. I believe I was saying before that tangent that, that's why I can't show you right now with the live tracking, these changes. Although, there is a way to hook up the motion capture, the facial mocap. There is a way to hook it up into Maya to both use and record the tracking data for animation. I gotta try that out sometime. I might have too old of a version that's no longer supported by the tracking plugin. If you want to see what a tracking plugin looks like. Let's see, where are we hiding over here in the 80 programs I have open? Ooh, can we get some lag? Spoiler, this is not my face. But this is what the motion tracking software is applying to a face. So you got, I'm blinking my eyes. Move my mouth around. Ah, there's no teeth. Oh, that's kind of cursed. You know what's even more cursed? Oh, I can't put it over my face. That's funny. Also, it pauses my tracking when I move the window. That's interesting. There we go. Now you have Rusty's true face. This very eyebrowless, scary looking fella here. No teeth. I think it's the lack of eyebrows and no teeth that makes it kind of scary. We can do the pog face too. Oh, that's weird looking at this thing. There's definitely some uncanny valley here. Oof. But one thing I do think would be interesting to show you. Let's put him up in this corner. So the blend shapes I just created are right here. Oops, we disappeared. Let's bring you back up here. Okay, so this right here, mouth R. You know, I think I had it right the first time with mouth L and mouth R. Anyways, see this highlights it towards one side now. That is like that. So that's what I'm going to be animating here, or adding as blend shapes. So it goes one way, and then it goes the other way. And did I actually have that right? I think I actually had that right before I renamed it. How funny is that? Because this is mouth R, and it looks like it's... Yeah. I don't know my left from my right. Go figure. I still need to make a prop for when I'm having a drink of, well, this is actually just water. Coffee. Definitely need a coffee mug. I should actually make it the same color as my eyes. I think that would be hilarious. Use that same emissive texture. Or material. I always call it texture when it's actually a material. It's a bad habit, and I'm not entirely sure where I picked that up. But yes, mouth R, Marth R, Marth L are definitely named improperly. So for now, I'm going to be super lazy and just rename them that way. Okay. Another thing I definitely want to use as a blend shape, not mouth related, is a lean. I've been seeing that, and it looks like a lot of fun that the 2D VTubers are all going nuts for. Is when you lean forward and it makes no sense for me to actually lean. I'm attempting to lean. But what that would mean for a 3D avatar is actually pretty easy if you have body tracking, whether it's just upper body or full body like VR tracking, because then it would just track your position. See, now for me, this is about the limits of how far we can go. I can move my arms, but that is something else entirely. So I'm wondering... I don't think I can just key that as a... No, I cannot key that as a blend shape. But I bet I could do animation trigger, which would probably have to be a hotkey. Just a little bit of animation within Unity, where it's just, my character leaning forward. Again, I'm doing it again. My character leaning forward, or maybe bringing the camera closer further. Winamp? What's wrong? There. I ran out of album. Had to restart the whole thing. Okay, so did the little bit of mouth, both the making it thinner, talking, and swooping it left to right. Now you can combine those things, and it should work just fine because it'll add both of these. It makes it quite thin. But I think that'll work just fine. So over on IRL Rusty, can't quite do this yet. I think how I will implement it on this guy here is I'm going to have a little servo controlling the door flap, the disk drive door flap, and there'll be an LED panel behind it, so that when I want to do the same kind of talking left or right, or moving my mouth left or right, it'll move LEDs back and forth. You know, so the door will be open. But I don't know if I want that, you know, that little disk drive door flapping in the wind as every time I open my mouth, it has to creak open and close. I don't know how long it'll hold out that way. Those pieces are not designed to move that much. So I might just still have it here be a little LED panel, little light panel kind of flashing or pulsing as I'm speaking. I think that was my original plan for, at least for this face. I want different mouth attachments. So right now it's a disk drive, but then I want one where it's more of a respirator mask, give that real cyberpunky look. So even though Rusty doesn't breathe, because hello robot, it'll still have that look. Maybe with like a speaker grill on one side, and in fact I have a sketch somewhere of a speaker grill on one side and then like the breathing filter on the other side, all lit up with RGB. Another piece of the puzzle here is I think I want this eye to blink. I've kind of been against it because it's, at least the initial designs, I've been a little hesitant on it because it's more unique if it doesn't blink, in my mind. So, I've got the tracking, look up, down, left, right, and it kind of deforms a little bit, a little cartoony deformation there as it goes from side to side. That's actually clipping and not deformation. I thought it was pretty clever for thinking of that. In this case, of course, it wouldn't work with organic people. So what we have here is this eye actually rotates further back. Right here. No, you're not gonna... There we go. Right here is where the eye rotates. And so, as it's turning left or right, it's clipping through the panel here. Now on the other side, the joint on the other side. Why are you being fussy about me selecting the joint? Come on. Anyways, the joint on the other side, it is pivoting right at the center of the lens, just as or I should say the center of the gyro. So you can see this right here. This collar is right here. On IRL Rusty, there is a matching collar around the lens, and it's roughly with the lens's center of gravity, just so it would rotate more smooth and be balanced. And it's a lot less stress on the components when it can do that. So what we have here on, ooh, that got in front of my tracking camera. That's kind of nuts. Okay, use this hand. So what we have here is the same thing. It's pivoting off of the center of the, the very balanced center of this lens. I don't know if you can, here, now that I'm zoomed in a little bit, you can get a better view of that. So the lens is fine. But yeah, I'm not real certain that I want to mess with the eye. I kind of like that it doesn't blink. Because the aperture blinks. The camera lens aperture blinks. I'm not certain that I want the computer screen version to blink. I do want to add different shapes. I have this one was added recently. I'm a cat. See? Cat's eye. And cat's ears. I do need to edit the... I have to do a bit of editing here to get the cat's ears to look more like ears and not just triangles, but for now they work. I have to add a few polygons. But yeah, cat's eye. And I just have that set up as a toggle right now. So I can just hit a button, boop. And I think we can combine toggles too. No? Oh, now I have angry cat ears. That looks kind of goofy. Eventually if you stack too many toggles up, it will interfere, and you get a mess. Clipping and inside out polygons, inside out mesh. Though I am tempted as when I'm in here just to maybe I will do some blend shapes just in case I change my mind. So here's the eye cat, and here's the eye. Oh, I have a donut. I don't think I have that set up as a toggle. Donut, donut, donut. I didn't quite like how it looked, so I don't use it too much. There's the eye as a donut. It looks okay. Not quite, like I said, not quite how I envisioned it. But the cat's eye. Nice. Now I could add a blink where it just squishes it kind of like opposite of the cat's eye. So instead of squishing it sideways, I would just squish it vertically. Now, a problem here, I was just thinking if I make the scale larger without messing with my tracking, making the scale, instead of being this big, making it like fill up most of the little monitor screen, the oscilloscope monitor, that's what this half is. Problem with that is that controlling the clipping. If I make it too big, will it properly fold behind the screen? Now that is actually something we can test. IL, add it to the blend shapes. See where we're hiding that. Oh, that one's way over here. I don't have a frame of reference for this guy here. I think maybe we'll just make it twice as big. Oh, that makes it twice as big every direction. Oh, that's entirely too large. Okay, so that looks like it would about fill up the... There's a side shot down here, by the way. Let's see, there. So we're looking at this right here. So that looks like it would pretty much fill up the screen. It's a little thick at the moment, so we're gonna thin that up. It'll be a little bit thicker than the original eye, which is shown right here. Let's just give it a shot quick. Do this quick and dirty and just make a new blend shape. Okay. Not bad, not bad. So, now what we do is we see how that translates into movement. You see how it's clipping behind the eye panel here at this screen. I kind of like that. Up and down. It's kind of a shame that it doesn't quite work when it does this. Yeah. It just clips off a little too far. So if I look... Now I think I can... yes, in fact I know I can. Limit the rotation, how far I can roll my eyes back into my head, basically. So it might not look too bad. This also shows me that the pivot point of the eye is not centered to the screen. Not quite. It's a little off. Yeah, it's fine. So I think what I would actually do is I would probably have it like 90%. And then it would probably... There we go. So it still has the odd clipping issue because it's not a sphere. If I made the eye a sphere, it would rotate better. Which we can actually do. Yeah, let's try that. Nope, don't do that. Oh, yeah, see, there we go, that's a problem. And now that's clipping through in unfortunate ways. Almost, though, almost. Okay, I'm gonna undo all this, because that's unfortunate. There. Just a little bit. But not enough to get in trouble. Okay. Try it one more time. And really, that's what a lot of this is, just back and forth, back and forth. Okay, what do you look like now? Oh, I got clipping up there. That will look not good. Okay. Get back up a little bit, and funny enough, that solves the problem. Okay, so now I want to add this blend shape to this. Not this one. This one. Blend shape 1. My naming scheme leaves a lot to be desired. We're not calling it IL1, we're calling it IL big. Or better yet, big. I'm going to delete these guys. And yes, I know there's a better way to do it. Show the donut. Show that one. While we're in here. Do I want to make a small eye? Because it's super simple. Should I make it a blink, or should I make it small? Or should I make it square? You know, square sounds more fun than... Square does sound more fun. Why do this or that when you can do none of the things you just mentioned? Go back into vertex mode. Make it slightly off square. Let's see. Oh, we're not snapped to a... We're not really on a grid here, on the grid, so... It's gonna be a little sloppy without the snapping. I am not worried about stretching it at all either, because we are not really using UVs. Okay, how does that look? Square-ish? Vaguely square. Vaguely square. There we go. How's this one? Fairly square? Fairly square and vaguely square. How about we use those as metrics? And go back to normal. Zoom out just a little bit. But yeah, again, one of the perks of creating this character like I have is definitely the ease of updating with only... I just moved a few vertices around, and boom, it's a square now. I'm not doing organic modeling where you'd have to, blend and smooth select and just move the pixels around it. It'll move everything around it. This is much easy. Much easy. Okay, while we're in here, we are also going to make a left eye group, so I can maybe find it later. And we're going to take all these guys, take this guy, And create. Get rid of this one. There. Now we have eyes. Okay, let's see what we've got here. So we've got square. Ooh, that's a big square eye. That is unintentionally huge. Damn. Is that even gonna work nice? No, I think we've messed something up. Okay, we've got that. Eye big. No, we messed something up. Let's see. We are going to go back a few steps here. Let's see. More one object matches the eye. Okay. Nope, one more. There. Okay, the eye is working. There, now the other eye is working. Did I add 2 blend shapes? Okay, so now we've got that guy. Turn left. Oh, see, not a fan. Not a fan. If I go just a little... Actually, this will probably be as far as he can even physically go. I don't think he's really going to clip that far. Eye big. Aha. What is going on with that? What am I not rotating? Why? There we go. We know that's the other eye. I'm doing something wrong here. More one object matches the name IL. Oh. Yeah, that would do it. What did I do? Joint IL. Okay. Joint IL. Got it. Nothing in here is called IL. So why is this not working nicely? That is a mystery I might have to solve off screen. Yep, look at that. So, I just deleted those blend shapes. I'm going to try this again. I wonder if I have some transformation issues hiding somewhere. Got those selected, got those selected. Got my IL. Oh, that was silly. I called it IL right here. Alright, let's just call it IL lens. that will most likely fix the problem. Okay, we have our square. And we have our... Ooh, no, it didn't like that either. It didn't like it, but it is working. Oh, that's interesting. Like the donut. I'm going to have to dig into this without boring y'all. That is super interesting. Why? Probably only the last blend shape works. The last one that was grabbed, which would be the square. That is very curious. Okay, reset the eye position. Eye blends. Just going to delete those out of existence. It is probably something I did here. Wheel shape, arrow shape. Parallel. I don't know what that means. What is that? Make sure I'm not in any funky selection modes. Let's try this donut again. Oops. Let's try selecting just the joint. Oh, there we go. So the donut works. And the cat's eye works. Big. Big works beautifully, it even clips nicely. And square. I'd say square works good enough. Alright. I was just creating them wrong. There must be a setting. It's the deformation order. Okay. So how I have it set up in this box is different than how it's set up over here. So this button uses a different set of settings than this blend shaped options box. If I wanted to dig into that, I could look in this ugly mess. So what this is, a wonderful thing called mel scripting. Basically, everything Maya is doing, or I should say everything you are doing in Maya, when you're clicking menu items, dragging things around, is you can look at it in the script editor. The behind the scenes look. Including your undos. So like if you look, might have to squint. If you look real closely, for instance, what I did right here, this was me rotating the joint. The joint I had selected. I selected it. Pick up, pick down, right here. So let's see, this is me rotating, setting the blend shape to, for instance, 1, setting this one to back down to 0, because I was undoing, so it's, you're not getting all the steps. You're not getting all the steps shown. This is interesting to dive into every now and then. Trying to see where I applied the blends. More than one object matches the name. Yeah, so I would have to dive into here, look a little bit closer to see what I am doing, what I am doing wrong. I bet if I just reset the tool, it would fix the problem. There you go, front of chain. Resetting the tool solved the problem. So for future reference, if I ever look back at this video, for future reference, default, not what I want, personally. Most likely because I am... Okay, so the problem is probably I am setting these blend shapes after the model has been skinned, which sounds morbid. Oh, hi there. Sorry, I was busy rambling to myself and I didn't look over at chat. Hi, Ducky. Oh boy, it exists in all sorts of space. Do you like my text? Text. I was trying to hunt down the problem where my blend shapes, so what controls the different shapes of the eyes in this case. Hello. You can see that on the lens, or the camera lens side here, which is my right eye. You see how when I blink, you can't see me blinking, but when I blink, it squints and closes the aperture of this lens here. So what I'm trying to do is do more shapes on this other side, my left eye. And it wasn't working quite right, and I couldn't quite figure out why, so I decided to open up, you could think of it as like the debug menu here, or debug listing, the error logs. Because one of the neat things about Maya, I'm not sure if Blender does this, but one of the neat things about Maya is everything you do by moving sliders and typing in all these different fields over here, you can just type them out manually also. More useful than typing out, I want to rotate this item and set this attribute to this exact number. Scripting. And in fact, it says right there in the window, script editor. So what you can do is take a lengthy process, like let's say you're doing some rigging, or you want to rename everything in your skeleton to be a certain way. You can do that manually once, and then select all that code, copy and paste it, or load it as a script and just run it. Poof, done. I've used this before when setting up animation rigs, control rigs. Like let's say you want your fingers to bend. Well, right now I'm using motion capture, but in animation, you have to set the values, keyframe all the values, so it does it in a linear way. When you want it to do a thing, you make it do the thing. And setting up that whole process takes a lot of pre-work to make it so that, hey, the finger bends nicely, just the way you want it to. So all you have to do is move one slider and the finger bends. Long story, tangent. I did put tangent in the screen tags down below. Because I know me, I go off on tangents. But we are just about to wrap it up for the night. I think I got everything I wanted to accomplished. And I solved the weird blend shape problem. But what we did here is added a bunch of little subtle things. Blah, 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 blah. It's yelling at me. Added a bunch of subtle things that'll make this avatar on the left side of the screen a little bit more expressive, despite being a robot. So, if you look at this giant face behind me, be able to be a little bit more noticeable when I talk. Right now, if you look really close here, that's me opening and closing my mouth. So this will make it a little bit more obvious, and be able to do that that sideways smirk thing. Like this. It'll be way more evident when actually smirking, or when actually being motion controlled here. And I just decided I do not like how light that mouth shape is. So before I save for the night, I am going to fix that. Wrong window. Not hypergraph, hypershade. Which apparently was on my other monitor this whole time. Okay, let's see. I believe that's Lambert 3. No? Lambert 5? Lambert 3? Okay, it is that one. For one thing, we need to rename it. Let's make it gray. Now I can actually find it. The gray is not gray enough. Okay, that's the color we're using right now. It doesn't have to be too much darker. And you can't see what I'm doing. There we go. So if you look, see, there we go. Here's where we're at right now. And I think I just want to go right there. Simple as that. So now when we talk, it kind of looks like I have lips. I don't know if I like that. I do not like that. We're gonna change that right back right now. Someday I will remember the shortcut keys. There we go. It'll still cast a slight shadow. If you look, you can see just a little bit of shadow right there. And I think that's good enough for me right now. Okay, let's see, Rusty Low 10. Bam! And we're done for the night. Alright. Catch y'all a little bit later. I don't think I'm gonna raid anyone tonight. Let me see, just in case. Who have we got here? You know what? Maybe. If if you'll want to come on for a raid here. Do I have my desktop audio hidden? Okay, good. Let's see what we've got. You know what? I think we'll just call it a night tonight. Catch y'all next time. All right. Good night.